This story was sent to me by Coca 2005 and is coming from the news.mx, where we are back in Ohio, the hub for heroin. And it is one of those overdose type stories. And now you can see right there is at some place called Mount Carmel Hospital, where they said this hospital had to fire 23 people who worked there because of cases of excessive overdoses. I swear, these individuals must not want them to get well or get better, but you know what? I'm all for it. If they like it, I love it. It says, the Ohio hospital system where excessive painkiller overdoses were given to dozens of patients who died fired 23 nurses, pharmacists, and managers Thursday and said it is changing leadership, a sign that professional fallout from the scandal has expanded far beyond the intensive care doctor accused of ordering the drugs. Now look at that. There was a doctor who actually ordered the drugs that they weren't even supposed to be prescribing. Or maybe they were supposed to be prescribing, but you know, the dealers are now not on the street anymore. They are wearing doctor's coats. They're wearing those long white coats and they're working in the hospital now. You know, easier access. And then those are the people that you would least expect. And that's where the druggies, the junkies can go and get the real hardcore drug. The announcement of the Columbus area Mount Carmel Health System comes 5 weeks after that doctor, William Hustle, or Hussell. It would be funny if his last name was pronounced Hustle. It says pleaded not guilty to murder charges in 25 of the deaths, marking one of the biggest cases of its kind against an American health care professional. Now, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think I did a video about him because that description sounds very, very vaguely familiar to one that I just recently did, maybe last month. The newly fired employees include 5 physicians, nursing, and pharmacy management team members, President and CEO Ed Lamb said in a statement. Mount Carmel said the other 18 were fired among the nurses and pharmacists who had been on administrative leave during its internal review. 1 employee remains on administrative leave and 11 are being given the chance to return to work if they complete additional training, Lamb said. Mount Carmel didn't specify whether those employees are nurses and pharmacists who administered or approved the excessive doses. Authorities have said the nurses and pharmacists involved aren't being prosecuted, though dozens have been reported to their respective professional boards for review and potential disciplinary action. Lamb also said that he is resigning this month and that Mount Carmel's chief clinical officer is retiring in September, paving the way for new leadership that could facilitate healing and help restore the trust of the community. Mount Carmel fired Hussell in December and concluded that he had ordered potentially fatal doses for 29 patients who died over the past few years, including 5 who might have received the drugs when there was still a chance for improving their conditions with treatment. The hospital system says 6 more patients got doses that were excessive but likely not to cause their deaths. His lawyer in the criminal case has said Hussell was providing comfort care to dying patients, not trying to kill them. Hussell, age 43, was charged with murder only in cases involving 500 to 2,000 micrograms of the powerful painkiller fentanyl, amounts far larger than typical doses. Mount Carmel has tightened its drug policies and Access publicly apologized, noted it should have expedited its investigation. It acknowledged that Hussell wasn't removed from the patient care until 4 weeks after a concern about him was raised last fall, and that 3 patients died during those weeks after getting excessive doses he ordered. The hospital system has resolved some of the related wrongful death lawsuits, reaching nearly $4.5 million in settlements so far. We are deeply sorry for the additional grief and frustration that this has caused, and we are working to provide reasonable settlements with affected families. 22 lawsuits remain pending. In new filings this week, Hussell's lawyer in the civil cases again argued that they should be put on hold because of the criminal case. A court magistrate previously declined to halt the lawsuits but did block the plaintiff's lawyers from pursuing a sworn statement from Hussell. Lawyer Gregory Faliano argued that it isn't enough to protect Hussell's right to a fair trial, in part because plaintiffs still can seek information from other Mount Carmel employees. The hospital also wants the lawsuits put on hold and has filed objections to the magistrate's decision. I'm not surprised that this came out of Ohio. After all, it is the hub for heroin and apparently overdoses as well. But like I said, the new drug dealers are the doctors. That, you know, because they can hide well in there. And you would think that they wouldn't be, considering they get paid thousands of dollars a year, but I guess they need a side hustle. But either way, I mean, it is what it is. I feel nothing about it. I'm sure you don't either. So, hey, y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I will talk to you in the next one.